Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Be Perfectly Blended. If you've been here before, thanks so much for coming back. And if this is your first time, thanks so much for clicking on. In today's video, I am making some red beans and rice in my crock pot using a smoked turkey wing for flavor and some fried chicken for dinner. I am also lightly cleaning my kitchen along with hand washing some dishes and getting some laundry done as we are getting ready to run out of town. Just a quick weekend out of town. A little road trip along the way. So I've got to get a few things done before I go. Thanks so much for coming along with me. I'm starting here by rinsing my red beans. I just have a regular pack of red beans that I got from our grocery store, Winco. And so I just rinse them off and then I go through and kind of pick out the ones that are already cracked. As you can see, I'm showing you my dishes. I have some dishes to put away and then some dishes I need to wash. And on the other side of my sink, I have my chicken defrosting for dinner. So here are what like the little broken pieces or the ones that are in half. And you just want to go ahead and pick those out. And then I just stir around and give them a nice good rinse. Once that's done, I went ahead and put some water into my slow cooker. I put enough water in that the red beans will be submerged completely in the water. I also season my water, so I'm just using my typical pepper, seasoning, salt, garlic, and onion powder. And then I'm using a spoon here that has holes in it to just kind of stir everything around. And here is my smoked chicken wing. It is completely defrosted. And I just place it right in there. And I put my slow cooker, initially on high for about the first hour just to really let it warm up. Now this is how my kitchen's looking. This is left over from breakfast. Before, those were some water bottles from our camping trip. Now these are some dishes that I need to get done real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and start by putting everything away. Bam. And then just checking in real quick on the red beans and rice. It's coming along nicely. Letting out the water from the chicken defrosting. And then I did wash the chicken and pat it dry. And now I'm using some bleach to clean out this side of the chicken just because I did have the raw chicken over there before I go ahead and fill it up with some warm water, Dawn dish soap, and some bleach so that the dishes over here can sit and soak. I really didn't have too many dishes, a couple mugs, some silverware plates from breakfast and things, but we really haven't been back but a couple days since our camping trip. It seems like every week for the last month we've just gone from one place to the next, to the next, to the next. So anyways, here is how the red beans and rice are coming along. It's been about an hour. They're still pretty firm, but they're coming along nicely, smelling so good. I am just adding my same seasonings again. I tend to be pretty generous with my seasonings. You season to your liking. As it continues to cook, I'll begin to kind of test it and see if I need to add more seasoning. At this point, I use my tool here that I also use for my hamburger meat. This is like the best thing ever. And I begin to kind of smush down my beans a little bit. They're still slightly firm, but they're starting to break down just a little bit. And the meat is beginning to pull away from the turkey. Smelling so good. Again, I just add a little bit more seasoning and a little pat of butter. And I have it on low at this point, and I'm letting it cook. At any time that you feel like you might have a little more water than what you need to have, you can always just set the lid askew a little, and some of that will evaporate. Anyways, here I am, story of our lives, back to some more dishes real quick. I told myself when I finished the dishes last time that I needed to replace my sponge, and then I zoned it out. So here we are, new sponge, and just continuing on with the dishes. Now that the dishes are all scrubbed up, I've just placed them on the other side of the sink, and I'm going to drain the water out here and then just go ahead and spray, use my sprayer here to rinse the dishes off, and then place them in the drying rack to dry. Smells so good right now because you can smell the red beans and rice, but also because I'm right here by the sink, it just smells so clean with the Dawn dish soap and the bleach. At this point, the red beans and rice are pretty much done. This is how I like them. I like them soft, so I kind of smush them down, and I'm just pulling the meat off the bone here and just mixing it all together. But some people like them a little more firm, and that's fine too. So you cook them how you like them. If you like a little more juice in the bottom to go over the rice, or if you like a little less juice like I prefer. Anyways, now that they're done, I'm just adding some final seasoning. Go ahead and taste it at this point. Make sure you have it seasoned the way you like it. And then I just put it down on low. And I'm moving on to my chicken. Here, I'm not going to show step-by-step how I fry chicken because I've done that in previous videos. I am frying some chicken wings. So I am seasoning my flour. I basically use some fried chicken seasoning, seasoned salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and then I did add a little bit of ranch seasoning. And then I also take these same seasonings and I put them over the chicken itself. I also add pepper to both my flour and over the top of the chicken. Now I'm just heating up some oil here that I'm going to fry my chicken in. Then I'm going to crack 2 eggs, and I will mix the eggs together, and then that's what I use to dredge my chicken through, and then I'll go ahead and put it through the flour, the seasoned flour, and then put it in the frying pan to fry. But while the oil is heating up, I went ahead and just followed the back of the box and made some Jiffy cornbread real fast, so pop that in the oven. Now I'm filling a pot of water here in the back so that I can get it to boil and put the rice in. When I do boil my water for rice, I do add butter and salt to the water. And as that is heating up, I am now going to get ready to fry my chicken. I just take my chicken and I dredge it through the egg, and then I cover it completely with the flour mixture and place it in to fry. If you're not sure if your oil is hot enough to fry the chicken, you can just take a little pinch of flour and drop it in. And if it starts to sizzle, then your oil is ready. The water is boiling here in the pot, so I'm going to add the rice to it, turn it down, and let it simmer. And while that's doing its thing, my first batch of chicken wings is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out. Looking and smelling so good. My cornbread is done, so my husband was nice enough to get that out. Yeah, looking so good. Everything else was already done, and my husband didn't want to wait for all the chicken to be done, so he just helped himself to the first batch along with all the sides, fixed his plate. So here I am getting out the rest of the chicken, and dinner was so good. Everything that is left over for dinner is in this crock pot here. My daughter's on her way over, so she's going to go ahead and take that with her. So I'm going to go ahead and get these dishes done. But first, I need to light this candle because anybody who fries chicken knows that smell will stay in your home. So I have the windows open and I have the candle lit to go ahead and try to, combat that smell real quick. And now I'm just going to go ahead and go through and give everything a nice wipe down. I'm just using an antibacterial spray, just cleaning off my countertops real fast and my stove. I feel like anytime you fry something like chicken or fish or anything like that, there's just extra crumbs from the batter or whatever, and then there's just extra grease, and I don't know, even when it looks clean, I feel like you still need to give it an extra wipe down. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Now I've just basically got the dinner dishes to do, along with my mixing bowls here that I used for cleaning my chicken and seasoning and my flour and so forth. So I went ahead and washed those separately and put those on the dry rack to go ahead and dry, because then I'll need to put them away because they do take up so much space, so that the other dishes can go in the dry rack. So once those were done, then I went ahead and filled up my sink with some warm water, Dawn, and a splash of bleach. And I'm going to go ahead and wash my dishes on this side, just, get them cleaned off enough to go ahead and put them on the other side to soak. So here is what my kitchen is looking like. I am tired, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready to go to bed, call it a night. And here we are the next morning. Good morning. As I mentioned, we are going out of town on this day on a road trip. Well, it's about a 5-hour drive where we're going, so I kind of consider that a road trip. But anyways, but we are not leaving till about 1. My husband did have to go into work this morning. So here I am scrubbing up, rinsing off the dishes that sat overnight. So that was pretty easy to do. And then I'm going to go ahead and rinse out my sink and give my countertops a nice little wipe down again, just because I did fry chicken last night. And yeah, for some reason, I just feel like it takes a little more to get it clean. Anyways. I actually think it's a combo of grease that you use to fry, but also the seasoning. There's just little grains of seasoning everywhere. So anyways, glad to get the kitchen completely wiped down again. And now I'm moving on to laundry. I do need to get these 2 loads of laundry folded up and put away. A few things we were bringing with us on our trip, but for the most part, a lot of this is just going away, and I have a lot of towels and things like that. So yeah, I'm folding everything, trying to get it all done. Right there, my husband just called, and he said that he was going to be leaving his job in about 15 minutes, and then it takes about 15-20 minutes to get home. So I knew I really needed to hurry up. I am already packed. We are already ready to go, but I did want to get all this laundry put away. Here, I'm just rolling down a lot of my husband's t-shirts like this. He has been wearing them out because it's been so hot here, and then wherever we've traveled to, it's been pretty warm as well. So yeah, a lot of t-shirts. Well, I was able to get all the laundry folded and put away without really a moment to spare. My husband literally came walking in the door about 5 minutes after I got the last little piece of laundry put away. But here is how my house is looking as we are getting ready to walk out the door and head on our road trip. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one.